What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stevie the Black. That's STEVEE the Black. I'm back, and you guys just didn't think I was just gonna end on the Super Bowl video, did you? No. I gotta do one last more video talking about our Super Bowl champion Eagles. So, without further ado, allow me to introduce you to your reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There's a new beast incarnate in the NFL, and it's the Philadelphia Eagles. It took a long time. It really did. But the wait is over, because your boys are the new champion. And with this roster that we got, we gonna be sticking around for a long time. For quite a while, actually. Carson Wentz is coming back. Jason Peters is coming back. Jordan Hicks is coming back. Darren Sproles is coming back. Chris Maragos is coming back. We are the new beast incarnate. Every dynasty has its end. And when a dynasty ends, another one must take its place. Oh, you think I'm making it up? I'm not, actually. Think back to the 70s with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then when that dynasty came to an end, in the 80s, it was the 49ers. Oh, that's right. And then when the 49ers dynasty ended, it was the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s. And then when that dynasty ended, it was the New England Patriots. And like I said, when one falls, one must take its place. And who better than your reigning defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles? I mean, it's only fitting. I mean, seeing the way that look, it's tough, man. It's tough. It was a long season, but you know what? To hold that Lombardi trophy, to see the fans how they were, it's the best in the world, bro. It's the best feeling in the world, and nothing will ever top it. So, beast incarnate. My friend Addy thinks that Tom Brady and the Patriots are going to be 7-9 next year. He thinks the cliff is coming. For all those who watch First Take, you know about Max Kellerman and his cliff. He thinks the cliff is coming next year. I don't know. I mean, I can see the Patriots going 10-6, barely making the playoffs. You know, the Super Bowl hangover. I could see that. And then, you know, they're going 10-6, them barely winning the division, and then losing in the first round, and then that's it. And then Tom Brady retires. I can see that. But I want y'all to remember this. If the Patriots dynasty is over, if it's truly over, then it wasn't the Atlanta Falcons, it wasn't the Legion of Boom, it wasn't the Dallas Cowboys, it wasn't Aaron Rodgers, it was the Philadelphia Eagles that ended it. I want you to remember that the Philadelphia Eagles, they were the ones that ended the Patriots dynasty, if it comes to fruition. I believe it will, but you never know. Anyway, I'm going to keep this right here. But, because, you know, we're the champ. And just to remind you, until we get dethroned and until there's a new Super Bowl champion, which, you know, since we're becoming a dynasty, you know, ain't going to be no new Super Bowl champion. But, until there's a new champion, the whole reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champions, oh, that's going to be the new norm around here. So you better get used to it. You better get used to it. But anyway, I just want to take a reflection of the season, really, you know. I mean, this season is just so unprecedented, you know. And I say that because, you know, obviously nobody expected the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. You know, my original expectations were just win the division and win a playoff game, don't go one and done. And I'd be happy, you know, because we haven't won a playoff game in forever, you know. And like I told you in my last video, obviously I had the vision of me on the beach with the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, and it finally came true. So But I mean, this season, so many things that were the norm, that just normally would happen to us didn't happen. So, for example, so many bad things that happened to us. Let's say we ended that. So, for example, that's why I said that facing the Redskins at the beginning of the season was the perfect opponent, because we were a better team than the Washington Redskins. We're still a better team with them, even with Alex Smith. Unfortunately, we have a 3-game losing streak against Alex Smith, but I mean, the Washington Redskins aren't any better. I mean, if anything, Alex Smith is an upgraded upgraded Kirk Cousins, but he's not like phenomenally better than him. But like for example, right, when I said us facing the Washington Redskins and ending that 5-game winning streak that they had against us, that was important, and we ended that. Then it was beating Phillip Rivers. We had a hard time beating Phillip Rivers. We did that. You remember how we ended that game with how they scored a touchdown, and then we just ran the clock out. I was like, oh my God. And then it was Larry Fitzgerald, and you know how much they just kill us, man. He has the nickname Eagle Killer, man. But we finally did it, and we beat him. We beat him down. And then it was we could never win on the West Coast, and we beat the Los Angeles Rams on the West Coast. It's so many things that always kept us down in the past. We conquered them. We conquered it. And it's just it's amazing. Do y'all remember when we lost to Seattle? And everyone was like, oh, I told you the Eagles were fake. I told you they were pretending. They're not ready. They're not ready. Remember how many I had so many freaking comments in the section down below about how Eagles were fake and that the Seattle Seahawks were going to do it. Or we're going to be the Vikings. Skull. But now that skull chant is now Foles. Oh, we took it over all right. We took it over. But I remember so many people coming at me saying, oh, bro, what happened to them Eagles, boy? What happened to them Eagles? We're Super Bowl champions. That's what happened to the Eagles. That's what happened to all that was just a slap in the face. All that was just a slap in the face. And then the following week, when we beat the Rams and won the division, and Carson Wentz went down, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The moment he went down and I found out he was done for the season, I was like, that's it. We're not gonna win the Super Bowl. Like, we're not gonna do it. That was my immediate reaction for the rest of the day. Because remember, that game was a 4:25 game. So I'm like, that's it. That's it. We're done. It's over. Nick Foles got us to win, but how the heck are we supposed to win the Super Bowl? And then I thought it over, had a couple days, and I was like, look, if there's anybody who I would want as my backup quarterback, it would be Nick Foles. And as you see, that paid dividends because we are your Super Bowl champions. But that's what my reaction. If that was your immediate reaction, I don't blame you for saying that. I don't blame you for saying that we're done, that it's over, that we're not going to do it. But then I said if I would want anybody as my backup quarterback, it would be Nick Foles. Remember the last time he was our backup quarterback? 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We won the division. We barely lost the playoff game. It wasn't for the defense. So it's like all these things, man. It's like, but now, man. And now what? Look at that. And now we're the Super Bowl champions. So it's like, let me scoot up a little bit more. There we go. Much better. What else? What else happened this season? I mean, so why I got it on my mind, we might as well just get the elephant out of the room. This whole Nick Foles thing. I've heard a lot of different people say, oh, obviously the Eagles are going to trade Nick Foles. I mentioned Addy a lot on this show. Me and him should just do a co-host. But the thing is, I live in Florida and he lives in Delaware. I mean, if anything, we should have our own. We should have, he should have a channel, and we should go back and forth with this whole thing. But maybe one day I'll be able to connect with him and we can do a live thing. And we both talk about this thing. But basically, Addy's thing is obviously Nick Foles is under contract, right? And so we don't have to do anything. But if we get a good enough offer, he thinks trade Nick Foles because we need draft picks. And I'm not disputing that we don't need draft picks. But here's the thing. Carson Wentz is not going to be right. I know he says he's going to be, but I don't think he is. My prediction, and I could be wrong, I could be right, but my prediction is that Carson Wentz will be ready by week 5. That is 4 weeks, okay? 4 weeks. You know, Carson went down in December, so it's gonna be a while. While he may be progressing fast, I don't want to rush him back. I think the coaches don't want to rush him back. If I'm Doug Peterson, I'm saying, hey Carson, look, I know you want to be ready for opening season, but look, man, for that Thursday night game when they release that banner, look, man, you're the future, okay, and we cannot rush you back. We cannot RG3 you, okay? We cannot do that. You have to take your time. We got you for the next 10 years, bro. Take your time. We got Nick, which is why you don't trade him. Because if we have Nick Foles, and if we don't have Carson Wentz for the first 4 games, we have a very good shot of going either 4-0 or at least 3-1. We have a very good shot of that. And I don't want to jeopardize. We're trying to repeat as champions, okay? I want to keep doing this for the next couple of years, holding this belt, holding and saying you're reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champs. I want to keep saying that. And in order to do that, we need Carson Wentz. Now, obviously, you're just saying you need Carson Wentz. You just won the Super Bowl without him. That's true. But you also have to remember, if it wasn't for him getting us to an 11-2 start, we would have been in prime position to win the Super Bowl. So, what am I saying? What I'm saying is this. Keep Nick Foles. I know you're going to get some offers. I know. And John DeFilippo just went over to be the new offensive coordinator. I don't know why the Eagles didn't keep him. Maybe he really wanted to go. I don't know. And maybe he might try and get Nick Foles. Don't you dare trade him to the Vikings. Look, I want Nick Foles to get paid. He deserves it. You know, he deserves to make more than $7 million. And some people's perspective is you can't have the Super Bowl MVP right on the bench. But look, if you're going to trade the man, do not trade him to Minnesota. For those of you who don't realize that Minnesota is our rival now. We're rivals with Minnesota now. Like, because of this playoffs, what happened in these playoffs, how we decimated them and how they were all soft to be like, oh my God, you know, this is supposed to be our Super Bowl and, you know, Get over it. You lost. You didn't just lose. You got crushed. You got demolished. You got embarrassed. Do you think Case Keenum would have looked the way Nick Foles looked in the Super Bowl? Do you think that if Tom Brady was doing that to y'all defense, you think your defense would have been able to make the same play that we made? Possible. It's possible. It's possible. But we'll never know, will we? Will we? Look, the end of the day is this. You cannot trade him to Nick. You cannot. If he's going to leave, Howie Roseman better not trade him to the Vikings. I swear he better not. And it's not like we have a quarterback who can step in if Nick Foles is gone. Do you really trust Nate Sudfeld to do that? Do you? I mean, if the Redskins are going to trade, maybe get Kirk Cousins. You can get Kirk Cousins. But look, I want to repeat. And look, I know we need draft picks, but come on. We got to do the smart thing here. You know, obviously, we're going to be paying attention. We can't keep everybody from this team because I'm going to keep everybody. I heard someone say, who would you rather keep? Would you rather keep LeGarrette Blount or would you rather keep Darren Sproles? Look, I love Darren Sproles, man, but I would keep LeGarrette Blount. I really would. Look, we got Sproles another championship. I'm happy for the man. I know he doesn't want to go out the way he does. So, trade him. Let him go back. No, we can't let him go back to the Saints. I don't know where you're going to go, but I would keep LeGarrette Blount. I really would. You know, and then with him, Jay Ajayi, Corey Clement, they all worked really well together. You know, that's a good group. Plus, we got freaking Donnell Pumphrey if he ever stopped sucking. You know, and then, you know, let's see. I mean, I don't know. Look, I kind of all over the place, but I want to repeat as champions. I want to be a dynasty, okay? Carson Wentz said to Nick Foles after it. You got to watch the video on YouTube. He said, this is going to be me next year. And if he takes his time, and let's say he comes back by week 5, then we can honestly do it. We can honestly do it. if there's a team that I say I'm afraid of, it probably would be the Saints. I know. Look, the Packers are great, but until they fix that defense, they're not a threat. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is always a threat, but they ain't got no defense. So, I mean, you clearly saw with New England, they ain't got no defense. So, and speaking of New England, how poetic is it really, and you think about it, that to open the season, their defense gave up 42 points to the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid, and then at the very end of the season, that was the first game of the season, and then in the very last game of the season, they gave up 41 points to Doug Peterson, who is Andy Reid's protege. So how ironic is that really when you think about it? Like, this is how you started the season, and this is how you're going to end the season. Like, how poetic. And that whole thing about Gronk might retire, Gronk's coming back. He's coming back. I don't think he's going to leave. I'd be shocked, actually, if he did retire. I really would. But I want to know what your feelings are about Nick Foles. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do we trade Nick Foles to the best offer so we can get some draft picks, or would you rather keep Nick Foles and have a shot at becoming Super Bowl champions in back-to-back years? I know it hasn't been done in the NFC in a while. The last team that did that was the last team who won back-to-back in the NFC was the who was it? It was the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s. So look, I mean, the Patriots, look, it's hard to go back-to-back to the league regardless. The Patriots tried to do it these past 2 years, and obviously they couldn't do it. So, look, this was a memorable season. This obviously was the best season ever. We finally did it after 56-year drought, 56, 57 years, however long it was. We finally won the big game. I'm happy. To be quite honest with you, I'm ready. I'm ready for the draft because I want to see the face of the Dallas Cowboy fans when somebody from Philly, whether it be Brian Dawkins or Brian Westbrook, and comes up and he says, and with the 32nd pick in the NFL draft, your Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles select. Oh my God, but I hope it's way worse than that. Because we ain't forget Drew Pearson. We ain't forget. And how poetic really also is, how coincidentally is it that Dallas is the next seed to host the NFL draft after Philadelphia because they're trying to one-up us? How coincident is that? Like, really? Okay, they're trying to win us. You're not going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to win the Super Bowl, and we're going to continue to be your reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champions of the world, the Philadelphia Eagles. And it feels so good to say. It really does. Now, if I'm going to end this video, there's going to be a couple of things. A couple of favors I need you guys to do. As I said, I need you guys to tell me in the comment section, what would you do with Nick Foles? Would you trade him for draft picks because you want the man to get paid for what he did for us? Or would you rather keep Nick Foles and get draft picks off of somebody else, trade a couple players if you got to, but would you rather keep Nick Foles so that way Carson Wentz doesn't have to rush back and we have a better shot at winning a Super Bowl? Also, what would, besides the Super Bowl, matter of fact, let's scratch the playoffs out. You can't pick no game from the playoffs. Give me your top 5 games of the season because I have some favorite games of the season. My number 1 is obviously against the Dallas Cowboys when we dropped 37-9 on them. We had to get revenge from that game last year when Doug Peterson screwed us out of it. And speaking of Doug Peterson, I want to say this, man. We got to give this man a hand, bro. Because, oh my God, not only did Carson Wentz grow as a quarterback, but Doug Peterson grew as a coach. It took both of them a while. I mean, we can see from Carson right away. But it took Doug Peterson a while. Remember the Kansas City game where he refused to run the ball? He just gave up on it and had Carson Wentz throwing. But oh my God, you gotta give it to Doug Peterson. I mean, last year, we were saying Doug Peterson was being too aggressive. We were saying, Doug, you don't gotta go for it on 4th down. Just kick the field goal, Doug. Just take the points, man. What are you doing? And it's because of him being aggressive, and it's because of him being the way he is. We beat the Patriots. The way to beat the Patriots is you gotta hit Tom Brady. You gotta put a hat on that man, and you gotta run the ball and keep him off the field, just like the Giants did in those 2 Super Bowls. But if you can't do that, if your defense isn't getting to him, then you gotta match him blow for blow. They score a touchdown, you score a touchdown. They kick a field goal, you kick a field goal. They get a turnover, you get a turnover. You gotta be to make sure they're the ones that screw up first, and they're not gonna do that more often than not. But I think that's really the thing that's really mind-blowing people is not only did the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New England Patriots, but they matched them blow for blow with Nick Foles. Nick Foles went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady and won. Think about that. He went toe-to-toe with the greatest quarterback of all time and won. Now, look, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, come on, man. He didn't even shake the man's hand. But on Instagram, he did congratulate the Eagles. So he did do that. So I got to give it up to him. Even at the end of the day, I know he's 5-3 in the Super Bowl. And, you know, I'm proud about that. But he's still the greatest quarterback of all time to do it. You got to give the man his respects, man. I got nothing but respect for that man. So you got to give it up for him for that. But back to it. Give me your top 5 games. Mine was the Cowboys. Number 1, I can't remember. What was number 2? Was that the Cardinals game? That was a fun game. That's when Carson Wentz threw his first 4 touchdowns in his career. That was a good game. The Monday Night Redskins game, that was a good game. That's when people realized that Carson Wentz was the MVP of the season. Number 4 was the Giants game. Yeah, number 4 was the Giants game because that's when Jake Elliott with the 61-yard field goal, and that started our 9-game win streak, which is poetic, really, when Jake Elliott kicked the game-saving field goal to ensure our victory. And then number 5 will be the Broncos game, because that game, I was like, yo, okay. So that was my top 5 games. I want to know your top 5 games of the season. I want to know what you think we should do with Nick Foles in the offseason. Well, we ain't got to do anything. But if we do get offers, what you think the Philadelphia Eagles should do with Nick Foles? Should they trade him and get picks, or should they keep him and ensure that the Philadelphia Eagles have an opportunity to become back-to-back champions? That is about it. I don't have anything else to say. Now that the NFL season is over, I'm not much of a college guy or a draft guy, so I don't know if I'm going to do a video on anything, but depending on what happens in free agency, I'll do a video here and there. But that's pretty much about it. The 2017 season is officially over, and I cannot wait to come back and do this again with you guys. I will be bringing back the NBA videos. Now I'll be doing those again, and I'll be bringing back my wrestling videos too. Obviously, you see I watch wrestling, so I'm bringing back the Monday night videos. I don't know if I'm going to start this Monday or next Monday. It depends on how I feel. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for the NBA videos. And that's really about it. That's all I got to say. Your Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. And I'm going to say it one more time because it feels oh so good to say. Your Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. And if there's any poetic way you could possibly end the season, I've played a lot of different songs on this channel while I'm doing these videos, but there's only one way you can truly end the video, especially when you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and you already know where I'm going with this, so let's get ready to do it. So sing along with me, guys. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Peace out, y'all. Peace out.